starting your indexing is to go to your email address. So on your phone, you go to your email address, and then you see a mail with a heading Peak Planner. So you click on that. This is where you find yourself after clicking on it. You have a voucher code and you have use voucher. So what you do is that you select the voucher code as I've done. You right click and you copy. You may want to write it on a piece of paper so that you can type. That is also okay. However you get it, that is fine. Now after copying, you click on use voucher. Use voucher, this box. Okay, so I click on that. Okay, sorry. Okay, so when you click on use voucher, this is where you come to the voucher page. And at this point, the voucher that you copied, you paste it here. If you wrote it on a piece of paper, you type. It's the same thing. So I copy, so I've pasted it. Now, you put your name here where you have the name section. You put your actual name there. So my name is Florence Insia. So that is my name. And then I go over here to put in the email that I used to receive the voucher. And the email was, as you all saw, IT department nmtcsec@gmail.com. Okay, so at this point, we are going to enter a username. And this is where I am advising you to use your email address as your username. So your username is going to be your email address. And in this instance, the email address is itdepartment@nmtcsec@gmail.com. Now, we'll move on to the password section. The password section, I again advise you to use the same email address that has been typed out up there. So that is the email address, and I confirm with the same email address. Yes, so remember, my advice to you, you are not forced to use advice, but experience has shown us that when students use different username, different passwords, it becomes a problem to them. And so our advice is use your email as your username and use your email as your password. Don't forget this. You will always remember your email. If you use some weird username, some weird password, the next step that we are going to face will be a challenge for you. So don't forget about that. Use your email as your username. Use your email as your password. So now once you are done filling what you see there, remember, username is different from name. So up here, I've put there Florence Insia. That was your name, not username. So at the name section, you put your actual name there. And the username section, that is where you're going to put your email address. Username is to help you log in into the NMC portal. And so you choose any username that you want. But if it is your name as ascribed up here, you should put your actual name here. So that is it. So for the last time, let me repeat all that you do here. The voucher number that you see up here was sent to your email. So you copy that voucher number, and when you click on use voucher, it will open this whole page for you. And the voucher, you put the voucher number there in the first box. The second box is your name. The third box is the email that you used to receive your voucher. The fourth box is your username, and that is what I've spoken extremely about, and I wouldn't want to repeat. So put your email at your username, put your email at the password section, and the confirm password, put your email there. Now, once you are done, the next button you click on is submit. So let's click on submit. And once you click on submit, a box appears which is asking you to put in your username and your password. As you can see, enter username, enter password. And do you remember your username is your email address? So put it there. Do you remember your password? Yes, it's your email address. So put the same thing there. And we are good to go. At this point, we click on log in and let's see what happens. Voila. So successfully, we have logged in into the NMC portal. The username was our email. The password was our email. If you can see from the top here, from the top right corner, you can see Florence Nsia. And Florence Nsia was our name, the name that we used. So if you put in the correct name, you're going to see your correct name on top here, top right corner of your screen. So at this point, this is where the real business begins. The real business begins. So we go to the left pane. Let's all watch here. We have dashboard, we have indexing, and we have examination result. Definitely we know where to click. We are going to do indexing. So that is what you click on. Forget about dashboard, forget about examination result, and focus on indexing. So once we click on indexing, I've clicked on that. This is where the actual work begins. This is where the actual work begins. So this is the first page that you encounter when you are doing your indexing. Good. At this point, I'm hoping all is clear. Now, you make sure you fill all the areas that are marked with asterisks, red asterisks. They are all required areas. So if you can see, we have the surname, the first name, date of birth, gender. All these are required areas. And one required area is your photo, your picture. If you don't upload your picture, you will not be allowed to move to the next step. Good. So my name, let's start doing the work. My name is Florence Nsia. So my surname is Nsia. My first name is Florence. Good. I don't have any other name. Somebody is asking, what about other names? If you have three names like Kwadwo Asamoah Emmanuel, Asamoah becomes your surname, Emmanuel becomes your first name, and your other name can be Kwadwo. So be careful what you put in here because these are legally binding. You should put in the correct name arrangement here so that you don't mess up. Other names, if you have three names, you can bring in the other names there. So what if I have a compound name, say Owusu Ansa, Owusu with hyphen Ansa? That Owusu Ansa is your surname, so you put all the Owusu Ansa at the surname section. That is if it's a compound name. But if you have three names, you put the surname at where it's supposed to be the first name, and you put the other name at the other name section. Good. I don't have an other name, so I'll not put it here. So, what about the former name? The former name can be your name that you had, that you've changed. So let's say growing up, I was called Ajua Benewa. Now, when I got to JHS, I got my name changed from Ajua Benewa to Nsia Florence. Yes, so on some of my documents, I have Ajua Benewa, but I have gazetted that name, Nsia Florence. So Nsia Florence is my new name now. Now, all all the documents that bears Ajua Florence, if they are required here, the requirement on the platform is that you put the former name there. So I'll put, let's say I was called Ajua Benewa. So I'll put Ajua Benewa here. So I'm just trying to tell you that I had a former name. What if I don't have a former name? Leave it. Don't do anything there. So in most instances, you don't do anything at the former name unless you are having a former name. If you're having a former name, put it there. If you don't do it here. Some people choose to put their names that people used to call them in the house there. No, it's wrong. Let's say in the house I'm called Kone or Ajua Fusia or Atempani, and my official name is different. People choose to put them there. It's wrong. Don't put any other name which is not recognizable on your document here, except you have a document that bears a former name. Only and only then that you put them here. Other than that, forget about this. Okay, so now let's move on to the date of birth section. How do you select your date of birth? You click on the box, you click on the dates that you have there. If your years is not this year, you just click on the year again and use the arrow on your left to move to your left to see. Let's say you were born in 1998, so I put 1998, which month? July, and the date was 15, so I have 15 July 1998. You are done with that, and my gender is female, so I put female there. Good. So at this point, you can save, and then move on to the next section. You can save and move on to the next section. Somebody's asking, are we not uploading our pictures? Yes, you can at this point, but I don't want to put somebody's picture there. That's why we'll delete all these once we are done with the orientation. So yes, you go there and upload an image. You click, you locate where the pictures are, and you select your picture. It's pretty simple, so you won't struggle that much. Good. So we'll move on to the address section. Address information section, and here is asking you your country, of course, Ghana. So you put Ghana there. Which region are you from when it comes to Ghana? I'm from the Upper East region, so I choose Upper East. Which district? So I say maybe Tolon district. Which town? Let me choose Boko. Boko. Good. So these are my district, and this is my district, and this is my town. Good. Do you have another email address that you want to put? You put it there. It's not required to fill, so you may leave it. Address line 1. Where do you stay? I always tell students, I stay at Inchaban, so I'll put Inchaban there. Inchaban Estate. That is where I stay, so you put it there. If you have a postal address, you can put it there. Say PO Box 111. That's fine, and you're good to go. Address line 2. Don't worry, we don't need it. It's not a required field, but if you want to, why not? Then you put in your phone number, your correct mobile number. Put that here. Let me just punch in any figures. Yes, good. So we are done with the second phase, which is address information. So let's save. Let's save. Okay, good. So we are done with phase 1. We are done with phase 2. Now we move on to qualification. Qualification. And this is where it gets interesting, but it's pretty simple. Once you click on qualifications, you see the whole page is blank. How do you fix it? Go to add certificate, and you continue from there. So at this point, we are holding on from point 1 to point 2. This will be for lesson 1 or the first video. We are coming up with a second video, and you have to watch from there. Thank you very much. And as a way of recap, remember,